Ben here from 4Lock and Load. Just going to give you a quick demonstration of how to clean your shotgun. This is a general clean, not a deep clean. The gun is empty. So, take the lock off. Barrel and action apart. First off, start with the barrels. We always recommend Napier. It's a cleaner and lubricant in one. Spray into your barrels. Leave that. Next, onto your lock. Now, use for all those odd socks you got at home. Spray a bit of gun cleaner onto the tips of your fingers and wipe up the inside. The reason why I use a sock is so you don't spray oil all over the wood, all over the inside of the mechanism. Give that just a general clean. Any muck and grime that you can see on the inside, take it off. Now, cotton wool buds. Really good for getting into those little places you can't get at with your sock or any kitchen roll. Go on the inside. It's amazing how much crud gets on the inside of there. Nice and dirty. Alright, a quick wipe of the outside metal parts. Back of your sock, wipe it off any of the wood. Right, next up, onto the action. You'll find that dirt and grime will get into the side here, also onto where your ejector plungers are. So, back up with the sock. Give it a good clean. After a while you'll find you won't need to spray any cleaning stuff onto your sock because it will already have the oil and the cleaner already on it. Give it a good wipe over. Over your knuckles, make sure there's no grit on them. Give them a quick look, make sure they're nice and clean. And the outside of the action. Now, on this Beretta there's a little nub. Push the lever out, push that in, it will bring, eventually, that top lever across. You can clean that little bit of metal that's down the side. It's amazing how often you'll see that ever so slightly rusted on guns. All takes away from the value. Give the trigger guard, the action itself a good wipe over, make sure there's no grit. If you have grit anywhere and it goes onto a pressure point, it will score the metal. Right, reason for doing the barrels first is so that cleaner has time to act on the lead deposits, unburnt powder, plastic fouling, anything else that could possibly in there, even the moisture and stuff if you've been out on a wet day. And what we tend to use here is a paradox rod. Now, these polish and clean all the way up the barrels. As you can see, there's a lot longer action on a paradox rod. You'll find with your traditional wooden cleaning rods. The ball snake is relatively new, came about 10-12 years ago, has phosphor bronze in it, the entire lot polishes, takes it all crud out. They're good, it's each to your own. I would suggest getting a normal classic cleaning rod, because if you do have some really gummy fouling, you can use your phosphor bronze on it, and you've got your mop to polish afterwards. So anyway, into the barrels. Run that through between 8 and 10 times. Now, with the paradox, you also have an oil bob that's in the back here. Now, if you're using a cleaner, rather than a cleaner and a lubricant at the same time, that's useful. We tend to use the Express gun oil, a couple of drops on top of it, put some kitchen roll over your bob, the oil will soak into the kitchen roll, leave a thin film of oil down your barrels, but also you don't tend to get all the build up on this, so that stays nice and clean. This takes out all the grime. Right, Napier gun grease, very small amount, just onto your pressure points. So where you have proper metal contact, your barrels, where most of the stress is, put some of the grease on there. Again, these bits just on the inside of the action. It doesn't take much, you don't need much of this stuff. It is very, very good. Nice and slippy. Okay. Take your sock again. Your barrels are once over, just where your lock's going to be. I'm not particularly bothered about this part of the barrel, that'll be exposed. And clean underneath your rib, and in between if you have slots down your centre rib. That is where a lot of stuff can build up. Okay, so you just finished giving it a wipe over. Come back together. Lock back on. The barrels are last white, no weight in handling them. Just on the top, over the end of the barrels. Always store your gun barrels down. Any oil that's left in your stock or in your action or anything like that will run into your firing pins. Gums up the action and it can get into the stock itself, softening it, eventually it will crack, and that's the value of your gun completely gone. There we are. Quick demonstration of how to clean your shotgun.